To Bristol City for Sunday night football, a side who, after coming up a rooted bottom, Lauren Smith makes 3 changes as they search for their first points. Enforced in goal with third choice Olivia Clark, her WSL debut. Morgan and Powell also come in. Arsenal then, the visitors, they too have spent this season looking up, but after leaving it late last week, Jonas Eidervel's side now hoping for back-to-back wins. 2 changes with Palova and Kadina in. But the big news tonight comes from the bench. There she is, Viv Miedemar, back from her ACL injury. First time then that these two have met in the Barclays WSL for a couple of years, and a record for Bristol City expected with over 11,000 tickets sold. Kick-off 6:45. Evening everyone, Izzy Christensen and Stephen Warnock here tonight for the final game of the WSL weekend. And it's a weekend that's seen the football family pay tribute to Sir Bobby Charlton. He died sadly on Saturday, aged 86. United were playing at Everton in the WSL today. Captain Katie Zellum laying a wreath ahead of a minute's silence. All our love, and that of the footballing family to Lady Norma and Sir Bobby's family. Tonight then, Arsenal head to Bristol City. Let's hear from the Arsenal boss, Jonas Eidervel. He's with Lindsay.
Jonas, you've made 2 changes. Kadina comes in and Palova as well. Just talk us through those.
I think Palova has been playing very well for us so far this block. I really think she deserves a chance to start, and I'm excited to see Kadina as well. She's a very good passer of the ball. She moves the ball very well. She's calm under it. She can open us up low blocks, so I think she will have good qualities to play the game today.
What you have got is options from the bench. Beth Mead and Viv Miedemar back in the squad. Just tell us about how you're managing their return to action.
I mean, it's first of all great to have them both returning to the squad. Now it's, of course, they don't go straight away to become 90-minute players, so they are kept with minutes, and we are monitoring their return to play, of course, as good as we can do. So it's important that we stick to the plan and the processes that we have.
The plan and the process. One area it's not working for Arsenal at the moment, Izzy, Stephen, is crosses. Let's talk naught from crosses. If we look at them, they're in the bottom 4 when it comes to the lowest cross accuracy. And yet, the most crosses this season from Arsenal, 105. That's across the WSL. So then, Izzy, where's it going wrong for Arsenal?
Well, if you look at the stats, 105 crosses and a 20% conversion rate in terms of attacking the ball, we look at it and you break it down and go, is it the cross? Is it the runs into the box? So we've had a little look, and we're just going to show you a clip of how Arsenal progressed the ball. This was against Liverpool, and Liverpool have actually got a high line in this picture. So as the ball progresses, we want you to look at the ball's gone through. We just want to highlight Alessia Russo in here. Now, what I would say is the rapport between Russo and it's Katie McCabe in this instance is she has got the ability to put the ball in there. The key in this picture is Gemma Bonner. Can Alessia Russo affect Gemma Bonner? So as you play the clip, we're just asking or wondering whether Alessia Russo, perhaps to take her game to the next level, is able to win the race in there and get on the end of the cross. So as the ball progresses, Gemma Bonner wins the race and she's able to clear the ball.
It's so apparent what Arsenal are trying to do. They're trying to put the balls in the box, but the runs have to be smart and they have to be clever. This instance, they get it right. Blackstenius at the back post. Can you make a movement across your defender? Can you get across the front of them to make sure that you get some type of movement? The other picture here, which is really good, is Alessia Russo, where she's got contact, where she's making the defender know. Now, the big thing from a fullback or a defensive point of view is, if I can see your number, I know you're in trouble as a striker. So that is where Alessia Russo now has the march on her. And then, is there an element of, can you pass that on to say, Blackstenius, give a shout and say, I'm in a better position, really loud shout, and then go win the header. But it's got to be movement. Movement's everything in football. We were just talking earlier on, we were saying a good cross can be made a bad cross by lack of movement, but a bad cross can be made a great cross by great movement. And it just seems at the moment that Arsenal are very static in their movement, well, their lack of movement.
The interesting thing today is the introduction of Palova into the starting 11. Now, as Jonas alluded to then, she's got the ability to unlock a deep block, which is what we expect Bristol to be in today. So will crosses be the answer? Can Arsenal play a little bit more central? And having a player like that in the centre of the pitch, if she is operating centrally, could be the key for Arsenal today.
All right, we'll see if they can unlock it. We know that Arsenal have struggled against a deep defensive block as well. We'll see if Bristol City put that up. This is the last match of the weekend. Already this weekend then, wins for Spurs and Manchester City on Saturday. Manchester United kept up their unbeaten start, 5-0 win at Everton. West Ham left it late against Liverpool. The day started, though, with Chelsea coming from behind. That was 1-1 at half-time in that one to beat Brighton 4-2. All eyes then from us on a record crowd at Bristol City tonight. Can they deliver? Lauren Smith's side going into this one. Well, she's picked the youngest team in the WSL this season. Will they come of age against Arsenal? We'll hear from her next. Bristol City are without their two first-choice keepers for the visit of Arsenal. Let's hear about a rejig for boss Lauren Smith. She's with Lindsay.
Lauren, you've made 3 changes, but I think the real talking point is your goalkeeper. You've got a debut for Olivia Clark today. What have you said to her this week in the lead-up to the match?
Just that she's got the ability. She knows, that she's a good goalkeeper. She's #1 for Wales. She's had some good minutes this year, and she's ready to step up. She's a proud Bristol City player on loan at the start of the season, and she's, very much looking forward to the game.
And Arsenal coming as opposition. You've got to get that balance, haven't you, between paying the right respect but also not giving them too much. How do you operate within those fine margins?
It's a difficult one at times, but when you come off a game against Man City where we've lost 5-0, there's all to play for. And at half-time last week, we put some kind of lines in the sand and moved beyond it, and it's another opportunity for the team to do that again. It really is a huge opportunity. You might as well give it all at this point and be fearless.
Yeah, you've got to, haven't you, Izzy? Whether you get something out of this match or not, it's about creating those structures for the future.
That's exactly it, and you've got to build on the fact that they drew the second half with Man City 0-0 last weekend, and in the first half they didn't lay a glove on Man City, and when things are tough tactically and you're dropping into a back five quite quickly, I always think that you need to get close to the ball and you need to have that fine line between getting up to the ball but also, that you don't get done on your first touch, and that is key because that is where Arsenal will look to break Bristol down today, is quick passing, first touches, and like we've explored, crosses into the box. And they can take heart from last week, but exactly what you said, it's about building a foundation now for the future and the rest of the season.
I often look at these games where nothing's expected of you and go, when you spoke about being fearless there, go after the game. We're all expecting Bristol to lose this game, so why not break out your shape at times and surprise Arsenal in the way that you're going to play? And I think that often can take the opposition by surprise, and that's something that they might look to do.
She's spoken, Lauren Smith, a lot this week about, how shall I phrase it, brain burps, we'll say that instead. But when they concede a goal, then going and conceding another goal, it's that game management, how they stop those moments of, whoop, that's happened.
It's a mentality, and it starts in training, and I think that Lauren Smith's got the luxury now, after this game, of an international break, where I think real hard work needs to be done on building that resilience in exactly what you say. When conceding a goal, how do you bounce back from that? How do you stick to your structure, your shape, and how do you move forward? And the other thing today is, it's 10,500 fans in there.
Yeah, can they cheer them on tonight? A good omen for the people of Bristol. They've a dab hand at scoring goals in attendance, but albeit in the stands for us. Former Bristol Academy player Tash Harding is alongside Pete Lindsay.
Thank you very much, Caroline. Well, the stage is set for a night under the lights as the two teams head out. So a record crowd here at Ashton Gate. It has been a tough return to the top tier for Bristol City, who haven't picked up a point yet in their opening 3 games. A result tonight, though, would lift them off the foot of the table. They face one of their toughest opponents yet, 3-time WSL champions Arsenal. Well, let's get you straight to the two teams, starting with Bristol City then, and Lauren Smith names 3 changes to her side from their humbling defeat against Manchester City. They are without their first and second choice goalkeepers, so it's the Welsh international Olivia Clark who makes her league debut today. We're expecting a back three with captain Megan Connolly playing in a slightly deeper role in defence. While in midfield, Fionn Morgan, who's featured in every game this season, starts in a midfield 5, while Ella Powell is on the wing. Carrie Jones and Emily Testrup, who have scored all 3 of Bristol's goals this season, start up front together. So Chloe Mustaki and Sela Struck are the 2 who are among the substitutes, while Kaylin Marquise can't play against her parent club. As for Arsenal then, Jonas Edeval makes 2 changes to the side that beat Aston Villa. Manuela Zinsberger keeps her place in goal, and she's supported by a back 4 that includes Laia Codina, as Amanda Ilsted is not in the squad through injury. Kim Little and Leah Velti continue in the heart of midfield, while it's Victoria Palova who makes her second start of the season alongside Katie McCabe and Caitlin Ford, who are on the wings, hoping to provide the attacking threat with Alessia Russo, who is the club's top scorer so far this season. But the big news for Arsenal, Viviana Miedema makes the bench for the first time since recovering from her ACL injury, alongside Beth Mead, who played her first minutes last time out. Well, the world has been shocked and saddened by the war in the Middle East. Ahead of the game, there will be a period of silence as a mark of respect to those affected by the crisis in Israel and Gaza. There's the 2 captains there, Kim Little and Megan Connolly, going through their pre-match rituals.
This evening, we remember the innocent victims of the ongoing and devastating events in Israel and Palestine. Football's thoughts are with them, their families and friends, along with all the communities that are affected by the escalating conflict. There will now be a period of silence, which will start and end on the referee's whistle.
Well, our thoughts are with those innocent people who have lost their lives and those being impacted by the ongoing conflict. Well, Ashton Gate is ready, a record crowd here under the lights. And the final checks before the players from both sides take the knee, as a reminder that there is no room for racism or discrimination. Well, away we go. This record crowd at Ashton Gate is ready. Arsenal, who find themselves in 7th place, know they need to start finding consistency to be back among the top. As for Bristol City then, they'll be hoping that this crowd will give them that added boost as they look for their first points on the board, Tash.
Yeah, it's incredible, the fireworks at the start. Who would have thought that that would have been happening in women's football 10 years ago, all those years ago.
It took me by surprise, I'm not going to lie.
I think it took a few of us by surprise, if I'm honest. But no, it's incredible. It's great marketing by the club, and this is what you want. This is what you want to see the players be performing on this in the stage that they deserve, and it's amazing to be a part of.
Arsenal, who were hoping to try and find a bit of consistency, a real mixed bag of results at the start of their season, a defeat, a draw and a victory. Only just a victory though, 2 late goals against Aston Villa to get their first win of the season. And Steph Catley. Here is Lotte Bubbenmoy. Little. Across, and Caitlin Ford looking to control it and try and get an opportunity for Arsenal to weave their way through, but the ball from Little just couldn't quite find its way into a dangerous area. But already early signs of danger starting to show from Arsenal, Tash.
Yeah, I think Bristol have got to be really careful they don't sink into a 6, because that's what might tend to happen in a low block if you're playing a 5 already. You know, we thought they were playing a 5-3-2 or a 3-5-2, but they're kind of gone with a 5-4-1, which is a bit negative to start with, but I can understand why they've gone like that. They've shipped the most goals already.
Kadina across to Bubbenmoy. It's found Katie McCabe, who's playing on this right side for Arsenal tonight. Biavelti. Collected by Catley. Alti again.
So that, for me, Steph Catley shouldn't really be crossing there. I think Izzy alluded to it in the studio that, you know, there's no need to cross. In a low block, you have to be able to keep the ball in and around the 18-yard box. They're keeping Bristol in, but they have to be able to be patient, switch it when they need to, make Bristol come out when they don't want to, but they're forcing the play a little much.
And Moritz fired it across to McCabe, looking for an opportunity for the players to aim for in that penalty area. Bristol City having to defend with everything they've got so far. Testrup, who was charging at it to try and hold on to it. It's Arsenal who continue to hold on to the possession, which we're probably expecting to see a lot of in this game. Caitlin Ford. And to dance away into the penalty area. That's really good play from Caitlin Ford, and forced a stop from Clark.
So Caitlin Ford does really well here. She isolates the full-back or the wing-back. Alicia Russo is keeping 3 central defenders in the 6-yard box. One of them have to release to help. If they're going to continue to do that, that's probably a massive warning sign that they probably need to correct.
One of the big talking points, Tash, for Bristol City tonight will be Olivia Clark in goal for them, not with their 2 first and second choice goalkeepers tonight. So Olivia Clark, who's making her WSL debut for Bristol City, there will be a lot of pressure on her shoulders tonight.
Yeah, she's recently, come in as Wales #1, taken over from Laura O'Sullivan. She's done okay. She's had some really tough games internationally, so that might put her in good stead coming into this game. You know, playing the likes of Denmark and Iceland and Germany away next camp. So it might put her in good stead for this game.
There's Victoria Pelova. Caitlin Ford fires it across, but a little bit too much power behind it and couldn't find the targets she intended.
So again, they've got 5 at the back. There's no pressure on the ball. You can afford to now go up and put pressure on the ball. You've got 3 centre halves. Allow the full-back to go and now push the other one up higher. But when you don't get enough pressure, especially in a back 5, you become passive, and that's what's going to happen. And, you know, we're only 6 minutes, 5 minutes in, and you've had 2 warning signs, 3 warning signs already. Something has to be able to change.
Lazel with the throw for Bristol City. There's Catley over to Kadina. It's just her second appearance for Arsenal this season. She did start the 2-2 draw against Manchester United at Leeds Sports Village.
That was better cover. The right centre-back is coming out into that channel when your full-back is high. That's what we have to do, or what they have to do, sorry, going back to my Bristol Academy days. That's what they have to continue to do, because otherwise they're just going to play in the channels and isolate the full-back.
Little looking to play it through, forward again, trying to weave away inside a dangerous area, but it was well defended again by Bristol City. Ella Powell, who will have quite a job to do really to try and stop those wide players for Arsenal from coming in and creating those attacking opportunities. A couple of key targets in the penalty area for this corner kick. Fired across, and when you find the shirts of the Bristol City players is McCabe, who looks to fire from distance. It's brilliant!
Oh. Wow.
Katie McCabe with an outstanding finish to give Arsenal an early lead.
So Bristol have conceded the most from set plays. Arsenal's failed to score from set plays. Second phase, everyone's defending. You cannot allow Katie McCabe to have any time anywhere near the box. We all know what type of strike she has on her. You cannot allow her that much room. Can the goalkeeper do better? Can she move her feet a little bit quicker? You know, am I being harsh on the goalkeeper? I don't know, but a fantastic strike and great to lock up the box.
Well, she's at it again, Katie McCabe. She scored the equalising goal, which inspired the comeback against Aston Villa. She's at it again tonight. It's over 7 minutes on the clock, and Arsenal have the lead. Her second goal of the season. And now really the questions will be, how do Bristol City react to going a goal down so early on in this game? Well, the referee played advantage there. Little back on her feet. Here is Leah Velti.
From the full-back, releasing early, that's what she has to do. Wing back, take the full-back. If the midfielder comes into half space or false full-back, it's still your responsibility. You have to be able to engage early enough, which allows them to pick up a throw-in, a mistake from Arsenal because they're forcing the ball.
Is there a feeling around this Arsenal side that you can sense already in the opening 10 minutes that they have to prove a point, they have to make a statement, especially after the start that they've had in this season?
Yeah, I think everyone would be looking at those to win better. Everyone expects, and that's what happens when you buy big players. Your expectancy level goes up a notch, and that's what's happening. People are expecting Arsenal to do better than what they are. There was 3 games in, 4 games in, but that's what they're probably trying to do now.
Moy across to Kadina. Also to Moritz. Little need to hold on to the possession, but Bristol City had the answer. loose pass there, and it was taken advantage of here by Carrie Jones, who was trying to get away with it, but Maritz came in just at the right time.
Yeah, that's the negative of 3-5-2 or 5-3-2, 5-2-3. You have not got anyone else in front of you, so she has to carry the ball. And we can see the stats. I think the 12% is probably from the goal kick or when it's gone back to the goalkeeper. But for me, if I was Arsenal, I would expect to have at least 40 to 50% in their half, especially the shape that Bristol are playing.
Again, great vision to find Katie McCabe, but just couldn't quite get it past Napier, who was blocking the way. Elty. Jones. See Johnny Napier just watching, looking at options ahead of her, but find the right one this time.
Yeah, there's just nothing. They're literally all playing in their defensive third, and if you are going to play this system, you have to be able to now find an out ball. The reason you're playing the system, because you might be a counter-attack threat. Right now, their highest player is 20 yards from their 18-yard box.
Arsenal win it back, and this is Alessia Russo, who finds Katie McCabe and looks to go again.
Again, I think we saw maybe demanding and wanting a bit more from her. I think she could have found Caitlin Ford on the other side to play open side, right side. I think it's a little bit easier to read Caitlin Ford, I think, for our reverse passes on.
Well, it took a deflection on its way out, so it's an Arsenal corner. With the delivery.
It's not the greatest ball from Steph Catley. It's a bit slow, and I think Lotte Wubben-Moy is a little bit too far from the front post, so she would have had to have really used her neck muscles there, I think, to gauge a lot of power into that. But it's a chance, and again, Bristol, you can see why they're conceding a lot of goals from set plays.
And the ball straight out of play there, lifting the possession back to Arsenal. Codina. Here is Wubben-Moy. Now Alessia Russo, who turns to look to try and find another opportunity for Arsenal. Ford driving through and directs it straight at Clark.
That's what Alessia Russo's very, very good at. Coming in off the defensive line, finding the pocket. She changes the angle with the ball and the touch, and that's what a lot of people will say, yeah, you can hold it up, but can you change the angle? And that's what she does brilliantly. It's that link-up play, and that's what they want from her. It's great play for Russo.
Napier. Looking for Furness, but will go Bristol City's way.
It was a bit better from Bristol, I think. Yeah, that's what you have to do. If you're playing a low block, you have to be able to link 3, 4, 5 passes to get you up the pitch, win a free kick, and put you in a better position.
Amy Lazelle, hoping she can find the targets. Here, and it will be Carrie Jones who will go up against this. Here's the option. It's a good cross as well. It's a great header. What a goal! Rachel Furness with an equaliser. Out of nowhere for Bristol City. Wow. Spurred on by a record crowd here at Ashton Gate. And Bristol City, who have soaked up much of the pressure, have levelled it up.
Very, very good. And look, I've played with Rachel Furness, I've played against her. She is very, very good in the air. And this is a great ball, great play. This is what I talked about before. Link up play, can you play 1 or 2 more passes in the final third? Great cross, great run, unbelievable header for me.
Well, Rachel Furness, their most experienced player in the squad.
You have to question the defence, so what? There's 3 defenders there that, you know, you've got to be able to see that run early enough. She's coming from deep because of the possession and the way they play it. You have to be able to see that early enough.
Well, it's her first goal of the WSL season. Rachel Furness, and what an important goal that could be as well for Bristol City here in front of a record crowd. Well, they certainly enjoyed it.
Yeah, and again, Arsenal so far hasn't been able to keep a clean sheet this season. So,
do you think that equaliser took Arsenal by surprise? Because it came against the run of play, it came out of nowhere, really.
yeah, I think it took everyone by surprise, almost like the fireworks at the start. I think we're all a bit shocked, but, you know, again, they did it how they have to. As a low block, you have to be able to do that.
Lover's given it away again, and Bristol City have an opportunity to try and counter here. Ella Powell was chasing it down, but it was well blocked in the end by Ford, who wins the possession back for Arsenal.
I think that's what Bristol have to be really good at. Allow Arsenal to just commit.
Here is Ford again.
Allow
away this time by Aspin.
Allow Arsenal to commit a lot of bodies. Then you have to be able to counter-attack in the right time, right areas, because Arsenal now are probably going to be a bit worried to commit a lot more players. Right now, Lotta Woodman is the only player at the back, but would she be a lot more cautious now?
Lauren Smith has been able to find her side an equaliser early on, and that is exactly the reaction that she would have wanted from her side against this Arsenal team, who had started the game well. And perhaps a look of shock on the face of Jonas Edeval, whose side were dominating the game. Very, very strong win ratio as well for the Arsenal manager. Napier collects for Bristol City, looking to send it forward, and it will be Furness who will chase it down, but too much power behind the ball, and it will be a throw-in for Arsenal. Put under pressure by Lazelle. Here is Velti.
You can see straight away when when Russo comes in and does that and comes very deep with the ball, Kim Little straight away goes straight onto the back line. That is very good and intelligence play from her, because she realises we need someone to occupy the back three, and that's what she does. She's so good in those areas.
Here's Russo again. Hoping to play in Caitlin Ford, but not too much on that. Alessia Russo, who scored her first WSL goal for Arsenal, the injury time winner against Aston Villa in the last game. What an important goal that could turn out to be as well for Alessia Russo, who's got a milestone today as well, her 50th league appearance. Forward, but well defended by Bristol City. Arsenal win the possession back, and it's a good cross. Napier couldn't quite get there, and very nearly caused a moment of concern there. Olivia Clark able to save it.
I think luck was on his side then. But again, is it a needless cross? I don't know. Can they keep the ball? Can they recycle it? And again, I'll go back to what Izzy said in the studio. Do they need to cross all the time? Keep the ball a little bit more, move the back five around.
Testrup, who was hoping to hold on to it. Here's Wubben-Moy. Over. Arsenal, who thought they had it comfortable in the opening 15 minutes or so. Well, Bristol City had other ideas. Liavelti. Catley. The cross that was wasted by Arsenal.
Am I repeating myself again? I don't know. Again, do you really need to put another cross in? Again, you're in a really good area. You're isolating the fullback or the wing back. Use it as a 1-2. She doesn't like to go out. There's one against. Are you really struggling really to make sure you have to get the ball away? No, keep the ball. You're good enough to do that. Just another needless cross that is going to go in the stats book again.
With the free kick. Travelled some distance, but only found the feet of Wubben-Moy. Moritz. Palova, who's going on a turn, trying to get away there from the pressure that Amy Rogers was putting on. Good run. Searching for it, and Little looks to keep the opportunity alive. Russo making her way through, and Russo first time hit it well, just wide.
Second phase again, great ball, good run, amazing. What Russo is doing, she's locking off second phase, getting that first touch, great first touch, and that's a snapshot. That is a striker's instinct. Get the ball away as best as I can. Great strike, just unfortunately wasn't on target.
Jones. Here's Ford. Still attacking in their numbers. This is McCabe. Catley. Liavelti spotted Russo, was waiting for it and was ready to pounce too, just couldn't quite reach it.
I think, yeah, that's a better time to probably cross it, because there is a lot. Again, for me, can they keep the ball a bit more? Right now, they look like they need to try and score. That's the sense that I'm getting. It's almost like it's last minute, got to score a goal. Take your time, just keep possession of the ball, because they will tire and you will find space.
Palova got in there just in time before Testrup was getting there. Here is Codina. Bristol City currently bottom of the Women's Super League table. And their real problem really at the start of this season was how many goals they had conceded before this game. It was 12. Already conceded an early goal in this game, but they were able to make up for it thanks to Rachel Furness.
This is better from Arsenal. They've gone in, they're coming back out to try and now create the space. What Kim Little's doing very, very well. She's playing in front of the centre-back and then behind the centre midfield. They don't want, no one knows who's marking, whether they go in with her, whether they drop back, and that's creating problems. Just come back out in the cycle. That's what we're seeing now. This is what they need to do for the next 70 minutes.
Palova. Vubben-Moy. Russo on the turn, but well defended by Bristol City. Napier. And find their way through, and now a chance for Palova to break free. Was looking for the opportunity. Ella Powell stood in the way this time. Well, if you're hearing a bit of music, a bit of drumming, that's where it's coming from. All part of the building atmosphere here inside Ashton Gate. Straight into the hands of Olivia Clark.
Bristol would be happy with this. I would be if I was playing against them. I remember playing against Chelsea for Reading. We beat them 1-0, but we defended for 80 minutes of the game, and we were happy with them putting crosses in. We were okay. It's when they start to build up, play through you, play in between the lines, play down the 18-yard box. They'd be happy with this, because it's easier to defend. They've got 3 in the box against 1.
All been part of the game plan that Lauren Smith has put out this evening. Their side in quite a defensive structure. Ford. Out Kim Little. Try and make her way through. Took a deflection on its way through and just took the power away. Comfortable enough in the end for Olivia Clark.
Better from Arsenal though. Again, what Codina done that time that we haven't seen just yet, she's driving within the middle of the pitch. She's making sure that Bristol have to stay in shape centrally, which will then allow passes on the outside and different players to be doing different movements constantly. So again, a better side of what Arsenal are doing now.
Ford did well to try and keep that in, and Powell getting there first. It's quite the battle really, isn't there, at the moment between Ella Powell and Caitlin Ford.
Yeah, I think Ella Powell, she's quite physical. I've had her on Welsh camps before, even in training. If you're on the end of one of those tackles, you definitely feel it in the morning. So yeah, she's pretty physical, loves a physical game. So yeah, watch out Caitlin Ford.
Palova. Plays out. Forward, and this will be chased down by Emily Testrup, who was claiming she was held back there. Well, the referee spotted it. Lots of Vubben-Moy involved.
I think they're lucky there's 2 defenders there. She does them for pace. Great ball, only outlet that they've got. They're very lucky. Might be accidental, but very lucky that there's 2 defenders there. I think they would be in a little bit of trouble. Great run though. That's all she could do. It was executed perfectly. Weight of pass was great. Great run, good timing, and I think Bristol have to look at that going forward. Defenders hate pace. If she can continue to do that, whether that be down the channels on the outside of the centre half or down the middle, I think that might be a very, very good tool for them for the rest of this game.
Well, an opportunity though for Bristol City on the half-hour mark. And it was Lotte Bubben-Moy who was shown that yellow card. So the captain, Connolly, fires it in, looking again for the header, Furness. This time Arsenal aware of the danger that she poses.
You can just see, can't you? You can just feel her presence. You just know wherever she is, you just know there might be a head-on call coming. And I think Arsenal just got away with one there because she timed her run perfectly around the back. Yeah, is another warning sign. If I was Arsenal, I would not be wanting to give away any free kicks anywhere in my half.
Moritz out across to Codina again. Well, despite a lot of possession and pressure from Arsenal, Bristol City have certainly shown glimmers and signs of where they can be dangerous. And they've won the possession back. This is Furness. Ford. To weave away past Napier. It through as well, and Ford keeps going.
She did really well there. Originally, she wanted the referee to check because Napier was actually holding her shorts and her shirt. So originally, I think she wanted a free kick. But she does really well. She's really tenacious skating forward, and this is what she's so good at, selling the dummy. I think she's had Napier on toes so far, and that's another one.
Well, they'll try their best to prevent the corner. Catley with the delivery, plenty surrounding the Bristol City keeper. Arsenal looking to take the lead again. Delivery is there, but it wasn't a great one. Went straight to the near post and headed out. This time they take it short and pull over. Finds Catley. Moritz through to Alessia Russo. And Napier clears the danger away.
They've done well. They created 2v1, but I think Steph Catley wanted to get it on her left foot. You could tell that, so they rebuild and then go again. And Russo's very good at finding that channel run in and around the 18-yard box, but nothing comes of it. And then Bristol try and find an outlet, but they're in the 18-yard box.
Bubben-Moy. Catley. Moritz. Pull over on the turn. This is Russo. He finds Moritz again. Well blocked this time by Carrie Jones, who's had to play a little bit more of a defensive role really for her Bristol City side. Well, a chance to let you know what's coming up after the international break. On Saturday, November the 4th, Aston Villa against Chelsea. Coverage getting underway from midday on Sky Sports Football. Following that, Brighton against Manchester United, Sunday, November the 5th, 6:30 in the evening, Sky Sports Football as well. Morgan. Well played for Bristol City, and Testrup was trying her best to try and squeeze her way through the two centre-backs for Arsenal.
I think that's what Arsenal are at risk of. If you're committing so many bodies forward, Zinsberger has to be attached to the two that are left. If she's hesitant to come out, that's where Bristol can really capitalise there. If the weighted pass is perfect for the run, that's what Arsenal have to be really, really careful of.
Kim Little finds Moritz. Well stopped by Connolly, and there's a little bit of frustration boiling over with a couple of the players here. I think it was Katie McCabe that was involved, and Rachel Furness coming straight forward to just try and ease the tensions a little bit.
Napier on Katie McCabe, and then Furness comes in. Nothing like a bit of handbags to make it a bit more entertaining for everyone.
And a corner for Arsenal. Catley with the delivery and headed out by Furness. Arsenal hoping they can make things a little bit more comfortable for them before the break. Again. Still the chance stays alive for Arsenal, and eventually it's cleared away. Now an opportunity for Bristol City to break. Morgan. The ball forward, but it wasn't a good one in the end. And Furness couldn't get on the end of it. Here's Napier.
I think that was a great idea from Fiona Morgan. I just think don't think she got enough on it. So this is the corner that we're talking. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. You see those given, you see them don't, and you know, if we had VAR in a women's game, would that pick it up?
Was that a foul in your eyes?
I mean, if I was Leah Volti, I'd ask for a foul. If I was Ella Powell, I'd say it's not a foul. So.
Powell was hoping to create something. They keep hold of the possession though, Bristol City, as they edge closer to the half-time whistle. Here is Alessia Russo. Well, Arsenal still dominating in possession, but they haven't really been able to do anything with it, Tash.
Yeah, and I think, you know, that's what the danger is of playing a low block, really, is, you know, if you have a lot of possession, is what you do with it. You know, at the end of the day, is the goals that go in, really, that everyone wants to know about. So, you know, credit to Bristol, if they've kept all these out with that amount of possession against them, they're doing something right.
Robin Moy. Now Moritz. Robin Moy. Jones wins the possession back for Bristol City. Not for long though, and Arsenal looking to go on the attack again. Furness this time standing in the way, looking to release the ball to Testrup, who will chase this down amongst Lotte Wubben-Moy.
I think she learned from the first time, didn't she, Wubben-Moy? I think she did well. She almost got past her, and then she uses her body to get the ball, and good defending.
Moritz. Ford. Wubben-Moy in space now for Arsenal. Palova. To wriggle away through that Bristol City defence, but they couldn't do anything with it. Amelie Testrup. Little. Just about, and now Alessia Russo looking to play in. McCabe! Well, it was a well-timed save in the end by Clark and cleared away.
Great touch, good play. He thought Kim Little didn't get it. That's that space I'm talking about again, coming in front. Again, holding on. I think we got a little bit more again. Great pocket from Kim Little. That's the one. Centre-back doesn't want to come on. She's onside. Great timing, great slip. Goalkeeper does well. Off the line quick.
Well, Catley is ready to take this free kick for Arsenal. To McCabe. McCabe looking to keep the chance alive. Well, it took a deflection on its way through. A chance there from Kim Little.
Better defending. But again, it's that second phase of getting out quick enough. They did well there, Furness, but they have to be careful about those, especially those two players at the edge of the box.
Another corner for Arsenal, punched away this time and cleared away by Morgan. Arsenal knocking on the door. Well defended again by Bristol City, who keep having the answers for everything that Arsenal are threatening.
That's the channel that I'm talking about. It's just the width of that 18-yard box. That's where Bristol is susceptible.
An opportunity for me to welcome viewers from Sky Sports Premier League. And it's been a great game so far. 1-1. Arsenal much the dominant side, but Lauren Smith's Bristol City team been able to find the reaction, find the equaliser, and they've been able to hold on as well. Arsenal really haven't been able to do too much with the chances or the possession that they've had.
No, I just think it's about them being patient, and you know that's what a lot of us would have faced or played in a low block in our playing careers. Those that are still playing now, it's always tough. Unless you move the ball quickly, you're never going to create chances. A low block is very happy with crosses, and that's unfortunately that's happened today. But Bristol have done well; they've grown into the game.
Just a minute added on, so a chance to have a look at the goals. The first one from Katie McCabe, who will be pretty pleased with that effort early on. But then Bristol City had the answer and they had the reaction, and it was all thanks to Rachel Furness.
Yeah, great header, good cross. They had to keep the ball at least 3 passes, and that's what they did. Fantastic header from Rachel Furness. That's what she's good at.
Testrup was trying to make her way through again, but it was blocked by the defensive line of Arsenal.
I think Bristol have tried to do that pass a few times now, and I think they're looking for feet when they should be hitting the space in front. Allow her to run onto the ball, because the two are leaving a lot of space and the goalkeeper's not coming out. So hit her in front of her, allow her to win something rather than playing to her feet.
Well, Powell will chase this down up against Laia Codina. Testrup replacing Carrie Jones, was waiting to pounce, but cleared away by Bubba Moy. Well, that will be that then for the first 45 minutes. Well, it has been an entertaining game. It was Katie McCabe who was able to break the deadlock early on, just over 6 minutes onto the clock, but Bristol City had a reaction, and it was all thanks to Rachel Furness with a brilliant pinpoint header to equalise. Arsenal with much of the possession, much of the dominance as well, but they haven't been able to take advantage. The half-time score, Bristol City 1, Arsenal 1.
Bristol City won, Arsenal won at the break. Some of you may be raising an eyebrow at that. I'm not sure that anyone expected that score, but how wrong were they, Izzy Christensen, Stephen Warnock? It started as you thought it might for Arsenal with a thronker from Katie McCabe.
Classic Katie McCabe. Look, come from a set piece, you can just see her circled on the edge of the box. Carrie Jones tries to make the clearance, and this is, you know, exquisite from Katie McCabe. You know, we had a discussion around the goalkeeper, but we think that she can't see the ball correctly, but it's just this little bit here from Carrie Jones. Can she get a little bit tighter? But Katie McCabe on the edge of the box, one thing in her mind, and as she pulls that trigger on that left foot of hers, that is just, you know, the pace is taking it beyond the goalkeeper, but that is what Katie McCabe does best.
Stephen, then the equaliser.
Yeah, I mean, this is the best play that we've seen all game, and Bristol get the ball down the left-hand side, and as it comes back to Napier here, it's the disguise and the cross, but look at Furness's movement, not being marked, unmarked, making sure that she can get a run on the defender. The movement's absolutely outstanding, because the cross is brilliant, but it's made even better by the header. And what's really impressive is Furness doesn't even jump. She doesn't have to jump, such as the run. She just runs onto it, glancing header. I mean, it's a bullet of a header. It's absolutely brilliant. No stopping that at all. But look at the run. There's no jump in that. It's just right in a stride. Perfect header.
It's everything you two were talking about with Arsenal crosses beforehand. Bristol City showing them how to do it. Much more intent from Bristol City during that first 45 minutes.
Yeah, we've seen them. We said before the game last weekend they didn't really lay a glove on Manchester City, but I tell you what, they've significantly improved. This ball here over the top is exactly how Bristol get out of their shape. Testrup just runs onto the end of a loose ball. This clip here, Rachel Furness predicting the press, intercepting the ball, slightly not enough weight on that pass. But in general, Bristol, after scoring and equalising, they have grown massively into this game. I've been really impressed with the game plan so far.
5-0 down last week at half-time. What this is going to give them for this second 45, just that impetus.
Yeah, I spoke about it before the game, playing with no fear. And that is a no-fear attitude. It's going after things. It's trying to play on the front foot. It's being brave in possession. We were just saying there about the passes. Don't have to be as accurate. Be further in front and give your players a chance to get on the end of them.
All right, a record crowd watching this one for Bristol City, over 12,000 in, and at the moment they're seeing their team go toe-to-toe as Furness turns up the heat on Arsenal. 1-1 then at the break. Izzy, Stephen, what are we looking for in the second 45?
Well, much of the same from Bristol. I think being aggressive, playing those longer balls in behind, trouble in the Arsenal backline. I think if you can continue to do that, that will be better.
It's a little bit tasty. Was this a penalty or not?
Well, we've seen them given, haven't we?
Falls in that bracket.
It falls into that category, yeah. I mean, there is definite contact on Leo Rolti. Like we say, we have seen those given. The referee's got a fantastic view of it, and just see here in slow motion, there is that physical contact. Rolti trying to spin off at the back post, and it's a 50-50 for me. I'm sitting firmly on the fence on that one.
You enjoy that, because that's the score at the moment, 50-50, 1-1 at the break. Back to Tash, Harding and Peen Mullenstein.
Thank you very much, Caroline. Well, plenty to look forward to in the second half. All level it is. Katie McCabe with the opener, Rachel Furness with the equaliser for Bristol City, all to play for then in the second half. It was a very dominant first half performance from Arsenal, but they weren't able to take advantage of it. Bristol City certainly grew into the game. They will have confidence in front of this record crowd here at Ashton Gate to try and create something special. And we are back underway. Neither side making any changes at the start of this second half, but Bristol City certainly will be hoping that momentum will go on their side in this second half as they look to try and get something against this Arsenal side, Tash.
Yeah, I think what he probably would have been saying to them is if you play against a low block, you have to have runners. So whether that be down the side of the centre halves, through the middle, you have to be able to have runners off the ball. Makes them go back, create space for them to drop in the lines. And I think that's what he would have been telling them now. Get closer to Rousseau, make runs off the ball, see if we can play intricate passes.
I'm sure the viewers would have been keeping a key eye as well to see who was warming up perhaps for Arsenal. Of course, Vivianne Miedemar and Beth Mead back on the squad for Arsenal since their ACL injuries. Vivianne Miedemar for the first time since she's recovered for that injury. We saw, of course, Beth Mead coming on to make a couple of minutes in that last game against Aston Villa.
I think, well, you can see already Bristol are starting a little bit higher. I think they've got confidence from that first half. That's what you want to see them do. Great engagement in the 1v1 battles, starting a little bit higher so they have less running to do off the ball.
Structure is looking to hold on to the possession. This is really the same story for Bristol City, where they knew that Arsenal were going to be dominant in this game. We were speaking, Tash, at half-time about you've played in a game like this. What's it like? What does the manager say to you when you know that you've got to defend pretty much the whole game? You did it for Reading against that Chelsea team when you beat them 1-0.
Yeah, it's just concentration. You need a lot of communication, when to press out, when to drop back in. If the centre-half does press, the other two's got to cover. Do you stay as a back five? Do you then have to go as a 3 or a 6? It's constant communication throughout, and that's what I remember from that game is there was communication from every single position on the pitch. And you know, it wasn't the prettiest game we ever played. You know, we scored in the 8th minute and won 1-0 against a Chelsea team. So yeah, not too bad.
Here is Russo putting forward an opportunity. Ritz, who was waiting to collect it in the penalty area. Here is Palova. Moy. Ritz. Across to McCabe again. For Bristol City.
The only thing with that one, again, they're searching for a runner up front, but they're almost playing a 5 flat midfield sometimes when she's coming over to help her wingers or her wing backs, and you know, they then go from back to front really quick. There's no out ball whatsoever if she finds herself in a flat line with her midfield.
Belty. Kim Little. Now Caitlin Ford. The feed of Valti and now Alessia Russo. Forced back wide again to Caitlin Ford. Being put under pressure. Arsenal trying to break down this Bristol City defence. Laia Codina stopped in the tracks there by Amelie Testrup.
It was better from Bristol, but Arsenal really moved the ball really well there. Catley started there by passing forward, running forward, committing bodies. Bristol didn't know who to pick up, when to pick up. Much better.
Little again out to Wubben-Moy. Here is Pelova. Crossing headed away this time, but as far as Catley, who keeps the chance alive. This is Caitlin Ford down on this left side. It goes again. Russo is waiting there. Now Kim Little wants to get a bit of space. Well, they're trying absolutely everything at the moment, Arsenal, but Bristol City are holding strong.
Yeah, really good defending. I think there was a bit of luck in that as well, but Arsenal just tried everything. But again, it's becoming moving the ball quicker, and that's what they have to do in a low block, because that's going to create confusion, it's going to create a mess in the structure, and that's what they have to keep doing. But Bristol holding on.
Here is Catley. Away, and Ford will keep putting the pressure on. Pelova wiggling away through again. Well, Kim Little was claiming it came off a Bristol City player, but the referee thought otherwise.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was confidence or naivety. I'm not sure, but no. Again, I think Arsenal are starting to create that feeling within Bristol of being scared, and it's not bad subs to bring on, is it?
Well, it looks like Frida Leonardson-Marnham and Beth Mead have been told to get out and get warm. We will see if Jonas Eidevall will be making a couple of changes early on in this second half.
I think what Marnham will certainly give them is those runs forward. She loves to run off the ball, third man runs down the channels in between centre halves. That's what she's very, very good at.
Russo to try and break through again. Well, it's much of the same really from Arsenal that we saw in the first half, but they weren't able to really take advantage of the amount of possession they have. It seems there's a little bit more intent at the start of this second half from this Arsenal side.
Great pocket to start with by Carrie Jones, but I think again it's stuck in two minds. Does she release it? Does she pass it? I think decisions have to be made earlier, especially when you've got backs against the wall. Great pocket to start with, but can she do better?
Laia Codina. Ford. A little bit too little. Rolling forward again. Good cross as well, a decent delivery, and it flashed across a couple of players there. Connolly is claiming she was fouled.
I think this is the time where, you know, a cross was probably the right idea. I think if she's asking for a foul there, I think desperation, I think. No one was near her. For me, I think it's just desperation, realising the ball's gone over your head.
Moy. Now Pelova. Charging forward for Arsenal again. She's got options left and right. Decides to go alone. But the goalkeeper, and very nearly put in again. A brilliant block to deny Arsenal a second. Caitlin Ford keeps it alive. Another great stop. Chance after chance from Arsenal. Wow. And eventually cleared away by Leisal. Brilliant defending though from the home side.
Well, we asked for more exciting things, Bean, and I think we've just got it in the last 10 minutes. So, wow.
Catley. Arsenal certainly feeling fired up now. Catley again. Here's Kadina. Searching for Caitlin Ford, but it just took a touch there, I think, from Ella Powell.
Great from Pelova. Drive in at the defence. They don't know what to do. If they come out, she can slide a pass. Great first save. Can she push it to a wide area? Russo's there for a second. Fantastic block for Katie McCabe's shot.
And this time the opportunity held into the hands of Olivia Clark, who has been tested a couple of times already in this game.
Yeah, great drive, great strike, by the way, because they're dropping off. Good save. Can she parry it to the wide areas? Katie McCabe, what a block by Connolly. Unbelievable. And that's what she's there. She's a great experienced player. She'll be communicating with these girls constantly. Up, down, up, down. Instinctive block from her. Led by example.
Well, Olivia Clark is currently down taking some treatment, so an opportunity for both managers, Jona Sedeval and Lauren Smith, to get some more words to their players. Well, the two teams playing in front of a record crowd tonight here at Ashton Gate. Just over 12,000 in attendance here, which is a record for a Bristol City women's team. And it is brilliant to see all those fans out in force as well, which may have just given Bristol City a little bit of an edge tonight, Tash.
Yeah, you want to play in front of big crowds and you want to give them the show. You know, at the end of the day, playing a low block is never going to be exciting for anyone to watch, but if they can give the crowd something and a reason to come back, I think it just shows that they're willing to fight, they're willing to put bodies on the line, they're willing to grind out a result. And, you know, I think it's been quite entertaining, especially the second half already. So, yeah, let's just hope that we get more crowds like this.
Well, it looks like changes are imminent for Arsenal. Vida Leonardson-Marnham and Beth Mead both getting their final few words before they take to the pitch. Belty. Here's Alessia Russo. Robin Moy. And to place it away by Powell. Lazell can clear the danger in the end for Bristol.
What I would say that's a little bit different to the first half. So Ella Powell was very aggressive in the first half. Caitlin Ford didn't have much. Whereas this half, she's kind of delaying her press a little bit. Caitlin Ford's rolling in the inside, finding that extra pass.
Here's another chance for Arsenal. Taken from distance again. Another good save from Olivia Clark.
Yeah, again, at the minute, the wing-backs are allowing those wingers to roll inside. That's going to create you a lot of problems, especially with not having a lot of bodies in front of you.
Well, you know, Katie McCabe is feeling confident in front of goal. She's already scored one from distance in this game already. Another corner for Arsenal. Catley with the delivery. Here is McCabe. She's done it again. Wow. Katie McCabe fires Arsenal to the lead. It's her second of the evening. And the dominance from Arsenal has paid off.
Yeah, again, though, it's that second phase for Bristol. They do well initially to defend. But again, it's the second phase. Of course, she's coming off the shoulder. Would you question your goalkeeper there? I think she sees it quite late. It's quite hard. I think it goes through her hands. I think, again, someone's in front of her. Yeah, I think for me, Yeah, it's an unfortunate defection, really. She's trying to defend it, but is she also hindering the goalkeeper's view? I don't know.
Pretty big deflection from Brooke Aspen, who is getting some treatment at the moment, but Katie McCabe will take it. And Arsenal, who have had plenty of the possession, plenty of the chances, have found the lead again. And it's all thanks to Katie McCabe. She is in some goal-scoring form at the moment.
Yeah, she never scores tap-ins, does she? She scored an absolute great goal against Aston Villa, unfortunately. Yeah, Bristol do well initially, but they're all so deep. You have to be able to get someone up. You know, there's 3 or 4 players not doing anything. Second phase again, Katie McCabe instinctive, on her weaker foot, should we say. I think the goalkeeper's got to communicate with our defender, get out of the way. Are you trying to defend or are you causing hindrance? I'm not sure, but again, instinctive strike, and if you don't hit it, it's never going to go in. So.
Brooke Aspen is back up on her feet and seems to be okay. Well, now Lauren Smith will be questioning her side as well. Can they react the same way that they did in the first half after they went a goal down early? Arsenal have regained their lead.
Bristol have to keep going now. You cannot get deflated from that. You have to keep doing what you've been doing. Suck the Arsenal in and go down the channels. Do the right things that you were doing, causing them problems. Go back to that.
Well, Brooke Aspen is back on for Bristol City. That second goal for Arsenal may just have settled a couple of nerves. Kim Little. Not quite on the same page with Amoy and McCabe then.
I think that mistake is typical of, so what Arsenal have done now, they've upped the tempo, speed of passes have increased, and I think Lotte Amoy was just a victim of trying to give more tempo into the pass, and unfortunately it causes a mistake. But that's what Arsenal now have changed, that the passes are a lot quicker.
Well, Satara Murray is getting ready for Bristol City. Block there from Napier. Another corner for Arsenal. Here's Catley. Well, it rebounded through and out for another corner.
Great build-up play, great movement. Napier was watching the ball, or watching the ball, not the player. She runs off his shoulder. That's the areas that Arsenal will hurt you. But Arsenal was just a bit static in the box. Palova was waiting for someone to move, and that's what she needed.
There for Alessia Russo and Megan Connolly. Another good delivery, it was headed upwards. Chance still alive here for Arsenal. Little. Over, has a bit of time to make her decision.
Second phase for Bristol, I think again they're very hesitant now to get out, but you've got everyone back. The goalkeeper should be screaming to everyone, get up, push up back. Palova had about 3 or 5 seconds on the ball. You have to get closer to the ball in and around your box.
Well, here comes a change then for Bristol City. So Satara Murray is on to replace Brooke Aspen. Frida Leonardson-Marnum are getting ready as well to make their appearances.
Tara Murray, by the way, ex-teammate of mine, very powerful player, great athlete, so fast. She can cover those spaces that Arsenal might find themselves in, but she loves a dribble as well. So if you see her going up towards Arsenal's defence, don't be shocked.
Good block.
So what Arsenal are doing really well now, they're dragging the midfield now to come out to pick up the third man run, which is detaching them from centrally, which now Arsenal should find extra body centrally, so causing Bristol problems.
A 12th corner for Arsenal. Post. Kim Little, who was fouled just on the edge.
Clever. That just shows an experienced player. She knows where she is. She's enticing the foul. Bit of naivety.
Well, here come the two changes then for Arsenal, and more minutes for Beth Mead. So Laia Codina makes... As does Pullover, and it's Frida Leonardson-Marnum who comes on. Beth Mead, who made her first minutes last time out against Aston Villa as an 88th minute substitution. More minutes for her today, and you could hear the cheer down below us from the Arsenal fans when they saw that number 9 sign going up.
Yeah, we at Boreham Wood or we at Bristol? It's very, I think that was louder than the Bristol goal, I think.
Well, it is Catley who takes it and fires it over and wide.
I think it's hard, when it's this close to the box, I think it's really hard to get it up and down really fast, so difficult chance.
Well, there has been a little bit of a shuffle at the back for Arsenal since those two changes were made. Of course, we thought that might happen with Frida Leonardson-Marnum in that midfield position, Beth Mead playing higher, which does see that Katie McCabe moving over to the left side of the centre-backs, with Steph Catley now playing as a centre-back as well.
Yeah, Steph Catley's played centre-back before. It's nothing new to her. She's an experienced pro, and she'll take it in her stride. Her and Katie McCabe are very, very good and experienced on that side anyway.
And here is McCabe. Murray. Well, it's the same story really from what we saw in the first half. Arsenal much more the dominant side, but Bristol City haven't really been able to have any opportunities at all in this second half.
No, and you know, is that down to the lack of outlet that they have, or is that down to Arsenal being very good in a counter press? So that's the things that Lauren Smith would be talking about, is can we be better with the ball, but then not allow Arsenal to counter press us at the same time. So credit to Arsenal, I think they've upped the tempo a lot since the first half.
Lauren Smith perhaps looking behind at a bench to see if there is anyone that can try and change this game for her. As a player, Tash, do you prefer playing with expectation or without?
So I was in a Bristol team. No one expected us to get Champions League, and we did. I think that's because no one expected it.
Leonardson Marnham looking to play in Caitlin Ford. Marnham again. Out to McCabe. As it across, the header's there and just wide. From Beth Mead, who very nearly made an instant impact as a substitute.
What Arsenal have done better with the last couple of crosses they put into the box, it's now behind the defensive line of Bristol. So it's in that second 6-yard box that goalkeepers don't like to come. It entices the goalkeeper to come out into space she doesn't want. Great ball from Katie McCabe. Beth Mead nearly getting herself on the score sheet already. I think going back to your previous point, Pina, I think having expectations as a team comes a lot of pressure. People expect you to win. People expect you to beat teams like this. So can people perform in the pressure, or do they sink under pressure? I don't know, but being the underdog mentality, I think there's a strength in that. And I think that's what Bristol have to really embrace, is being that underdog.
Napier was getting a little bit excited there because she was making the run down that left side, but the flag was up early. Change ready to be made for Bristol City as well. It will be Carrie Jones who makes way for Mary Ward. Has been a regular sub this season, Mary Ward. She's come on as a substitute now in every WSL game so far this season. Still a young player, and that is perhaps one of the talking points, really, isn't it, about this Bristol City side. Murray trying to hold on to the possession, but it's Alessia Russo who wins it back for Arsenal, but couldn't make the most of it.
Martin was in a lot of space then. Great find from Lotte Wilber-Moy. That space, that touch. But like I said before, Tara Murray is a very powerful athlete. She will keep up with the strikers.
One of the questions, I think, Tash, for Arsenal is now that Viviana Miedemar and Beth Mead are coming back, how that's going to work with Alessia Russo. Could all three of them play together?
Would you like to be Jonas Eidevall? I don't know. It's a great headache to have. Unbelievable players, but I think they can. Depends on the system that you play. Do you get players to fit the system, or do you get a system to fit the players?
I mentioned it earlier, how young the 11 for Bristol City are. They've got the youngest starting 11 compared to Arsenal, who have the oldest. So a mixture of youth and experience on the pitch tonight.
I think Kim Little's carrying that age bracket over, is she? Or I'm surprised at that one. I'm surprised, especially the Arsenal.
Well, at the moment, it's the experience that's winning. Marnham picks out McCabe again. Caitlin Ford looking to weave her way inside the penalty area. Leah Velti spotted Wilber-Moy. Mead.
Bristol, slow passes, they're easy to move side to side. I think Arsenal hurt them when they have to go central, penetrate the passes through the lines. That's what Bristol cannot cope with.
Caitlin Ford, Leonardson Marnham, who wanted to go in the near side, but Olivia Clark had it covered. City looking to place it again. Here's an opportunity for Mead, who got the touch, not quite the power.
Yeah, again, great ball in behind. Again, they're struggling now, Bristol. Struggling really in behind those wing-back areas. Again, too narrow, overload in wide areas, creating 2v1, 3v1. Great touch, Maritz. Unfortunate, Beth Mead's a little bit off balance.
Russo. Here's Maritz. Ford. Russo again. Now Testrup for Bristol City, looking to turn and get away. Wins the free kick as well. Well, what can be said is plenty would have expected this to be a comfortable game for Arsenal. That it has not been, despite what the stats might tell you in terms of the domination.
Yeah, I think on paper people would expect Arsenal to win, right? But Bristol had to come here and cause problems for them, and that's what they've done.
Ward going to try and get away from Little. There is Viviana Miedema. Leads the way with the most goals in the WSL history, and could she be making her first return to football since suffering that ACL injury?
I think Bristol are hoping that she doesn't, but let's hope the rest of us hope she does, and it'd be a great moment for her.
Cross this time expected by Clark.
What Arsenal are doing really well right now is what Bristol are finding difficult. If the Arsenal's winger are staying really narrow and latching onto their wing backs, they can't get out to the full back. If that happens and then the winger goes wide, full back goes through the middle. That's what they're causing Bristol problems with.
Double change shortly ready to be made for Bristol City. There is Vubamoy. Benapio was hoping to make a run. Lazel back to Clark.
Ooh, bit of a kick out by Russo there.
And a warning there for Alessia Russo. And here come the changes then for Bristol City. Shania Hales, Emily Sign, the two to come on. Emily Testrup and Amy Rogers, the two who make way.
Yeah, Bristol needed legs. I think you can tell that you get that sense of feeling now that they're getting a little bit tired. They need some legs that are willing to do the extra bit of work again that they need.
Hales looking to get involved straight away, put the pressure on that Arsenal defence. Well, we've seen it already, Tash. A lapse in concentration from Arsenal, and Bristol City are ready to take advantage.
Yeah, and that's where you've got to be really careful in these types of games, especially when you have a lot of the ball. I think you have to concentrate not only with the ball, but out of possession as well. What might happen? What if this happens? And that's what happened in the Bristol goal, that they switched off for that moment, and they can't be susceptible to doing that again.
Leonardson Marnham. Took by Russo.
Bristol did really well to get in shape there, but you have to be careful. They're very passive when they're getting in shape. Someone has to be able to get contact on someone with the ball.
Able to keep control of the ball. Moy very nearly lost out, and the run from Mary Ward was coming through.
That's the concentration we're talking about. Even though you've got possession of the ball, stay balanced.
Mead out to Liavelti. McCabe. Russo. Back to McCabe again. Here's Velti. He's placed in a dangerous area. Arsenal looking to make things a little bit more comfortable than they are at the moment. Catley.
Very narrow now, very passive in shape, and this is what can't happen when you're in a deep block. You have to press the ball when it comes in your channel.
Leonardson Marnham trying to break free, but Bristol City defence holding strong this time.
Ball down the outside of the wing back. She's getting caught centrally too much. Someone's got to come over and help. You've got a third centre half. Allow her to go release earlier.
Here's Catley. Goes on for Arsenal. Moy. Here comes Russo, who's looking to get the cross in. It was another good block. Card being shown there for Furness. Corner for Arsenal. Looked in and cleared away by Bristol, but on the follow-up, nearly caught there by Leonardson Marnham. And they will go again, Arsenal. Well, plenty surrounding the Bristol City goalkeeper, Olivia Clark. Delivery in again, and it's Alessia Russo who's down for Arsenal. And rightly so, the referee stops play as she holds her head.
No, it was just the ball. I think she's more surprised than hurt, I think.
Well, don't forget, there's plenty more WSL coming up after the most recent international break. Aston Villa host Chelsea Saturday, November the 4th at midday, Sky Sports Football. And then following that one, Brighton against Manchester United, Sunday, November the 5th, 6:30 in the evening. We get underway with that Sky Sports Football. Well, she seems to be okay, Alessia Russo, who's just making her way off the pitch before she's allowed to rejoin.
Either Viva Miedemar is feeling warmth in Bristol or she's coming on.
We have a good view, don't we, Tasha, where the players are warming up, so we've been keeping a close eye on who might be coming on, and Viviana Miedemar has been warming up for quite some time now. And here come Bristol City. McCabe. Moritz. LT back to Hubba-Moy. Here's McCabe. Now Ford, looking to weave her way in. It was a decent cross, actually, and Mead, who was waiting for it, couldn't quite get there.
So again, really good cutback from Caitlin Ford. She's right footed, she wants to go back. But what she's doing really well, Bristol now are dropping so early. All it's going to take is just a nick off someone else, and Satara Murray actually does well.
Corner number 15 for Arsenal. Taken by the number 15, and it flashed across. Ernest was able to keep it away.
I think you can see the stat that Bristol have conceded a lot of goals from set plays this season, and that stat just shows it, 15 corners to 0. Yeah, it's not a great stat to have.
Ford. Now to Catley. Here's McCabe to Liavelti.
Bristol are actually trying really hard to now press a bit higher. So the front three are now working together but staying a little bit narrow. But what that's allowing Arsenal to maybe potentially exploit is that space in front of the wing back. The wing back now has to commit, take a risk, and she's not doing that. So now that pressing work is no point really.
Russo to steal the ball away there from Connolly. Russo wins it. Murray getting in the way. He's trying to hold on, and we are into 9 minutes of time added on. Quite the considerable amount of time. Zinsberger coming all the way out of her area to clear the chance away. Mana. McCabe is an option to the left. McCabe gets it too.
Similar position to the Aston Villa goal that she scored last week.
Well, she's on for a hat-trick, Katie McCabe.
Good delay from Marnham. She could see it. Again, the wing-backs focus on the ball, not seeing the run. Katie McCabe. Great idea, just poor execution.
She did smash into the advertisement boards on the follow-up from trying to get that chance in. Might have just hurt her shoulder a little bit. Here is Ford. McCabe looking to try and get past Murray there. But a big block in the end, and it will go Arsenal's way. And Satara Murray will be shown a yellow card for that.
Yeah, if you don't take the ball, take the player. I think that's what Satara Murray's just thinking then. But the ball makes Satara Murray do that. I think it was a great ball, a great run. It makes her come out and tackle her off the ball.
So a free kick ready for Arsenal. Frida Leonardson-Marnham and Katie McCabe in discussion, but it will be Katie McCabe who will take this. She's already scored twice tonight. She's been a difference maker for Arsenal. McCabe fires the cross, punched away by Clark, and in the end I think it was Hales who got a touch to clear the danger. Vubamoy. He looks to keep it alive. Forward across again. Velti will have a go herself.
And Arsenal finding space in that second phase again, in and around the box. Can't allow world-class players to have that much time.
McCabe. Ritz couldn't hold on, allowed Mary Ward a little bit of time to try and get clear. Arsenal win it back. It's Furness. Cheered on by the crowd here at Ashton Gate. Tried to find the right pass. They continue in possession, Bristol City. Ward. is Hales.
Bristol show naivety there, win a corner, you haven't had one all game. You've got good territory right in the corner, attacking third.
Well, here comes a change then that Arsenal will have been waiting for. Alessia Russo makes way for Viviana Miedema. It's her first appearance for Arsenal since she sustained an ACL injury back in December of last year. She's the league's all-time top goal scorer. Viviana Miedema is back. And those Arsenal fans are certainly happy to see her.
I think every fan of the WSL is probably happy to see her. I think it's an unfortunate injury and no players want to see that either. And it's a great moment for her. Mental battle for her coming on. She'll want to do the right things. She got the first touch in the bag. It's clean, that's what she would have wanted. Good confidence boost. Easy for her, but after an ACL, it's probably a massive step.
Murray. Here's Powell. Chased down by Morgan and couldn't keep it in play. A chance for me to ask you, Tash, who your player of the match is tonight.
It's a bit of a tough one, but I think she's got the 3 points, hopefully, for her. At the end of this game, 2 great finishes in the right place, right time, ruthless, and she's on a bit of a roll, so, you know, it has to be her, really.
3 goals in her last 2 appearances, Casey McCabe, the difference maker for Arsenal tonight. What will Bristol City learn from this game, Tash?
I think they'll take quite a lot from it. Certainly against other teams, they'll probably have to do this shape again. It's just how do they tweak certain things, what went well, how do they counter a lot better, how did the shape look a little bit better. But at times they've shown naivety, they've shown that they've come from the championship. But there is some positive to take.
Here's Miedema, looking to play in need. The chance is there, Ford couldn't finish it. Great block. Well, Arsenal thought they were staring at a 3rd goal, but it was a brilliant defensive block in the end by Napier.
I think it's great ball, great run, good touch to commit the goalkeeper. Good defence. I think if Caitlin Ford is probably feeling a bit more confident, she might actually fake that. She's already sliding, but great defending.
Well, Arsenal thought they'd wrapped up all 3 points then. This is Leonardson Marnham. They will try again. Mead. How much confidence will Arsenal have now that they've got 2 of their strongest players, Beth Mead and Viviana Miedema, back and playing again?
Yeah, I think it's going to boost the morale of the squad first and foremost, and it's never nice seeing your teammates injured, especially with that type of injury. And I think they'll give the other players with ACL injuries on Arsenal's team a bit of hope and a bit of confidence as well. So fantastic players to have.
The corner again at the near post. Over and Miedema will chase it down.
I think the biggest thing for Jonas Eidevall is how does he manage the squad now? How does he keep everyone happy? You know, Miedema and Beth Mead are still coming on to return to play minutes, but that's the challenge for him. That's what's going to really prove whether he's a good manager or not.
Here's Miedema, out to McCabe. It's all over. Arsenal take all 3 points. And Katie McCabe, the hero for Arsenal on the night. 2 goals and the difference maker in the end. A dominant display from Jonas Edeval's side. Well, it was Katie McCabe who was able to break the deadlock early on in the first half. But Bristol City had the answer, thanks to Rachel Furness, to get the equaliser. They made it difficult for Arsenal. But Katie McCabe with a second and the winning goal in the end for her Arsenal side as they start to gain a little bit of consistency in this league. All the analysis to come, the full-time score here. Bristol City 1, Arsenal 2.
Pete, Tash, thank you. 2-1 then on the night. Arsenal. Stephen, is he far from convincing though from this Arsenal side?
Yeah, still not quite as ruthless as we'd expect this Arsenal team to be. A win's a win and they'll be delighted with that. But on the whole, I think there's a lot for Jonas Edeval to ponder in the international break. But on the flip side, massive credit to Bristol City because they showed a real performance of togetherness, grit, determination, defensively really solid. A lot of leadership shown and real signs of improvement for them. And then again, the international break will give them a good opportunity to build on that.
Seeing Viv Miedema back on the pitch for the first time since that injury in December of last year, Stephen, that's a huge boost for Arsenal going forward. Yeah, and also a huge boost for herself. I mean, a confidence booster going into the game. To even get on the pitch is a boost in confidence for all the hard work that you've endured, being in the gym, working hard with the physios, all the staff, the sports scientists. And that's the nugget at the end of it that you're waiting for. She'll want more of that though, and that's a great boost for Arsenal. Seeing her there too with Beth Mead, Jonas Edeval has spoken a lot this week about wanting Beth Mead to go away on international break. We know that Viv Miedema will go away with the Netherlands too, so important to get those minutes in now. Massively important, and also for Miedema, the type of player she is. We know, the creativity and the craft and, class that she brings on a football pitch, but that could be the difference and the catalyst for Arsenal now, finding those kind of relationships on the pitch, which just seem to be somewhat lacking for Arsenal so far. So big plus for her being back on the grass. Catalyst for Arsenal, catalyst for Bristol City to have this week now coming up as well, to really build on some of those combinations. Yeah, I think the big thing is you talk about the second half of the Manchester City game, 0-0, a solid defensive display today. I think the flip side of it is that I think what we've seen today is that they're capable of defending once their organisation's there, the communication's there. Now it's voice keeper as well. Yeah, but now it's the flip side of it. How do we attack teams? How do we get that balance and make sure that that's right? The big thing is trying to keep clean sheets or trying to be defensively solid will keep you in the league. Yeah, I say that about Parker's third choice. It was a debut, but Lauren Smith saying beforehand there's an international quality keeper in there too. Jonas Edeval with those final thoughts for his team in the huddle. Got through one then, Arsenal, a 2-1 win at Bristol City in front of a record crowd, over 12,000 there. Well played to everyone at Ashton Gate. So that rounds off your WSL weekend. Some strong old results in there for some of the contenders you think for the title. Aston Villa saw Tottenham come back at them to win 4-2 on Saturday. 1-0 win for Manchester City over a tough old Leicester side, their first defeat of the season. Chelsea coming from behind to beat Brighton 4-2. That was 1-1 at half-time. Convincing from Manchester United after that defeat in Europe, 5-0 win at Everton. West Ham coming back right late on in that one to draw 1-1 with Liverpool. And Arsenal, 2-1 winners at Bristol City, which leaves your table looking a little something like this. Manchester City then top level on points with Chelsea. Spurs third in that table after a new regime in at Spurs, how well they've started this season. Manchester United up to fourth. Arsenal stay in seventh. Bristol City still looking for their first points of the season. This time tomorrow, all eyes on the Premier League as Tottenham take on Fulham, 6:30 for that one. And the Women's Championship show, I mentioned it's an international break, but you can catch up with the Commuter Twins on Thursday, 6:30. From footballers at play to cats at play, Puss in Boots, The Last Wish on Sky Cinema now. talking of boots, Katie McCabe brought hers. She needed them as this Bristol City side, well, the Robins at times had them in a flap.
McCabe, who looks to fire from distance, it's brilliant! Oh. Here's the option. Good cross as well, it's a great header! What a goal! Rachel Furnace with an equaliser! Another corner for Arsenal. Hadley with the delivery. Here is McCabe! She's done it again! Katie McCabe fires Arsenal to the lead.
Yeah, 2 goals from Katie McCabe decided for Arsenal, either side of a Rachel Furnace equaliser from Bristol City. 80% possession from Arsenal, second highest of all teams in the WSL this season. Bristol City scoring from their only shot, their only one, of course, on target in that one. 2-1, it finishes to Arsenal. Vintage Katie McCabe then, both those goals, kind of what you'd expect from her. Another player of the match. She's getting tired of all these trophies. I'm sure she's not, but she joins us live now. Katie, congratulations, another one for you. We'll talk about your brilliant performance in a moment, but what did you say to Viv Miedema at the end? Saw you embrace right at the end. What a moment to have her back.
Yeah, no, it was a really special moment for Viv. She's worked so hard over the last few months. Herself and Beth, to have them back within a week of each other is so special for the team. And I said to her at the end, I thought it was going to be a trademark Viv special because she slotted Beth in, and I thought Beth was going to finish it off. It was going to be written in the stars, but I'm sure we'll see that combination coming up in the next few weeks.
She couldn't take the gloss off you, Katie, surely?
I don't mind if she did. Viv is a special, special player, and the goal she scored for Arsenal over the years, I can't wait to have her back in the team.
Izzy Christensen and Stephen Warnock with me in the studio. Izzy?
Good evening, Katie.
Hi,
Your goals, right, both of them have come from second phases off set pieces. Firstly, you're a bit gutted you're not taking them, or is that you rebelling, saying, I'm going to take this by the scruff of the neck and bang 2 in?
Well, now, like, for us, obviously, we've got a lot of quality from dead ball situations. Steph's got a wonderful left foot as well, and our set-piece coach kind of likes myself and Kim in and around the box to pick up those second balls. And obviously, we looked at Bristol and how they're really good in the first contact, and it was just making sure we had bodies around to pick up the seconds, and luckily for us tonight, we did.
Katie, you when you play against Bristol and they come off the back of a heavy defeat, you often sense that teams will be more organised in the second game or the game after it. What did the manager say to you before the game, and what were the tactics leading into the game?
First off, it's a real credit to Bristol. The defensive discipline they showed tonight was really frustrating at times for us. They were really compact and defended the box really, really well. For us going into those games, it's all about positioning and being composed on the ball. We know we're a good footballing team, but we need to be in the right positions to kind of show that. And I think we looked good at times. I think the second half was a lot more positive from that point of view. And luckily for us, obviously the goals came in the end.
You are now top scorer for Arsenal this season in the WSL. I think you've got a big screen near you. You need it to see how special particularly that first goal was. We know Katie McCabe doesn't do tap-ins, right? So what goes through your head when you see this ball come out to you?
Shoot. I thought I had a bit of time forced up, but yeah, I mean, it's just shoot, really. There's only one thing on my mind. Yeah, and obviously, luckily for me and the team, it hit the back of the net.
And then when it's 1-1 and you're looking for that second goal, do you feel the pressure in these moments?
Yeah, I think it's just showing a bit of composure. Obviously, it's not something you really see with me swinging the right foot at it, but I was delighted to see it hit the back of the net, and for us to come away from this place with 3 points. As I said, it was really difficult. Bristol showed really, really good defensive discipline, yeah, I'm just delighted for the 3 points.
Like last one, Katie, where you took a knock on the shoulder into the advertising board. Were you thinking in your head, can I get my hat trick here, or were you looking for a cross?
No, I was trying to actually dink it back post to see if there was any runners. Yeah, no, I didn't go for the hat trick. Maybe I should have, but no, I thought someone was going to be in back post, but I think, yeah, it kept out anyways.
Is there a special week or so coming up for you? Nominated for the Ballon d'Or as well, the first Irish player since Rory Keane to be up for it. For you, I know you'll be leading your country out in international duty, but what's it going to mean to you being up for that award, but also amongst such great players too?
Yeah, look, obviously for me personally, it's a really nice accolade, and to be up there with the best in the world is really, really special. But it's nothing without the work of my teammates here at Arsenal and the Republic of Ireland. It's a team sport. I love playing and winning with my team, and picking up trophies as a team is the most important thing for me. So yeah, look, it's a really nice award to be up for. It's an honour really, but yeah, I think I'll be in Albania for the awards night, so I won't make it.
You can be honest though, it's not as nice as the award you're about to pick up. You are the
blue blocks. Cheers, thank you.
How many's that now?
I don't know, I don't count.
Ah, you don't count when you've got that many. Katie, safe journey home, thanks for coming on.
Cheers, thank you.
Katie McCabe, another of those. I mean, we joke about how many she's won, Izzy, but consistently, she's one of those players that really pulls this Arsenal team through.
Yeah, she takes it by the scruff of the neck. Sometimes, I mean, I think there's massive room for improvement in this Arsenal team, but when things are tight, she is the player you turn to. And, for Arsenal, securing her signature for a contract extension is massive because, well, she's just got on with 3 points today, and everything good that Arsenal do comes through Katie McCabe. She's a top player. And
you know what that does when you see maybe you're up against it, you see a player like Katie McCabe either putting one of those in or just really driving the team forward. Yeah, well, I think when you're on a football pitch and you've got special talents in and around you, and you've got various ones who can step up at different times in a game, Katie McCabe always seems to be the one who's actually the one who says, well, I'll do it then, that's not a problem for me. And obviously the amount of Player of the Match award she's getting, she's going to need a bigger cabinet. You had a little nibble at her about, the fact that some of these crosses and she's actually having to shoot from distance, but it was that story again from Arsenal, wasn't it, tonight? All that possession.
All the possession, a lot of crosses. I mean, teams are set up to filter Arsenal into the wide area, so that's why I'm saying there's a challenge with Arsenal now. I think with Pelova, Marnham, and then Miedemar coming back, they've got players that can really hurt teams centrally because they've gone wide so often. I'm starting to wonder whether the evolution for this team is to play central. And I think that a way around that as well, they play with two defensive midfielders in Kim Little and Leah Walty that play consistently. And I'm like, do you need them both? Do you need them both when you've got centre-back stepping in, when teams are dropping off and creating that deep block? I start to wonder, there's plenty of options for Jonas Eidevall to play around with his team, but the amount of crosses they've put in and the amount of goals they've scored from them, you've got to start thinking, OK, are we going to have to adapt?
When are we going to change it? He's got another little issue now, just dropped Viv Miedemar. I mean, it's a nice issue to have, right? But he's been a little puzzled, or at least expression has, Jonas Eidevall. We'll hear from him in just a bit. The problem stood in front of him, Bristol City. They worked it out in the end. Wasn't as easy as some perhaps might have thought. Yes, Bristol City are bottom of the WSL, but they took it to Arsenal tonight. At one stage it was 1-1. Arsenal and Katie McCabe coming away with all 3 points as they head into the international break. Izzy Christensen and Stephen Warnock here to have a little look at this one. We talked a lot before the break, Izzy, about this Arsenal side maybe not firing consistently this season. You look at who they've got, in Russo in particular, we're going to look at in a minute, and you think they've got all the credentials, all the players to be scoring more than this.
They do, and that is the challenge for Jonas Eidevall and his coaching team around how they're going to get the best out of this squad. And for me, it starts in training. I mean, obviously, I don't know what they're doing in training, but it's about working on the relationships, about how to unlock teams, because Arsenal, the top teams in this league, have got to expect that teams are going to drop off into a deep block and play against them. You need to create those relationships with wingers, fullbacks, 10s and 9s that unlocks defences. And I think for me that starts in training. The staff have got to look at that and go, who's working well together, who's going to create that opening for me? And I think Arsenal are yet to find that formula just yet.
Do you think he knows his best team?
Probably not. I think he's still tinkering with it. I think he's still trying to find out. I think one of the things that was probably better in the second half was when, I'm going to look at Russo now, when Beth Mead came on and the link-up play between the two. You just take a look at the clip here, and Russo, as she comes off, dropping a little bit deeper. Sorry, this is the first clip where she makes the run across the box. Sorry. This run here across is just excellent, and it frees up space for Beth Mead to get in behind. And it's Beth Mead at the back post in this area now, who, because of Russo's run, allows her to get space when the cross comes in. Should do better. Beth Mead should score, if we're being ultra critical of her. But this is the one where we're talking about Russo coming short. Comes short, now you've got Beth Mead in behind, and it asks a different question. In the first half, predominantly, it was just Russo in the centre forward position, occupying 3 defenders. Well, that's not tough. That's not a challenge. It's too easy. And I think, just to touch on one more thing, I think when she was at Manchester United, the team was built around her. Now she's learning to play in an Arsenal system. So as much as she hasn't had many shots at goal, she had 1 shot at goal all game, 7 touches in the opposition's box. That's not enough for a striker, but she's still adjusting to the way they play.
But this is how Arsenal evolved. This clip is excellent because if you run it through, you just highlight Maritz at the back post. She's free. She's unmarked. Watch Beth Mead's movement as the ball progresses. This is what we talk about crossing with purpose. Because this little cutback from Maritz into Beth Mead is all created by Russo dropping deep. She's attracted everyone.
Yeah, it's just simple movement in the box as well. It's trying to find space in the box. Sometimes you've got to be very unselfish with your movement. We saw it from Bristol City when they scored the goal. The unselfish movement from the striker to allow the number 10 to score.
That was almost perfect, wasn't it, from Bristol City? Rachel Furness showing up exactly what Arsenal potentially should be doing. Let's hear from the Arsenal boss. Plenty of questions then for Jonas Eidevall. It's with Lindsay.
Jonas, before the match you were talking about being sensible with the crosses, the right deliveries, and both goals came as a result of set pieces. So were you happier in that department tonight?
I think the way that we played offense, I think we had a very varied offense. I think we varied very well between trying to go centrally and on the sides. I think my only regret from this game is that we didn't score more goals.
Yeah, you dominated in so many areas. You know, you look at the possession, the number of corners. What do you think is just not quite clicking to get that number of goals that you maybe were expecting?
Execution on the goal scoring opportunities. We had enough goal scoring opportunities to score more than 2 goals today, and that part we need to do better. But now we have been playing against 3 teams that have been very compact, working with a 5-4-1 formation against us. First Liverpool, then Aston Villa, and now Bristol. So we get a lot of repetition on that at least. It is a tough formation to break down, but I think the players had good patience and we moved the ball well today.
You speak about varying it up. I don't think many people have been used to seeing Katie McCabe not taking the set pieces, but being the person to benefit from them. And she only scores incredible goals, it seems. She's been crucial in certain matches throughout different seasons for you. Was that another stellar performance from her today?
I think it was a very strong performance from her, but also from the team as a whole. I think that's what you get from Katie, of course, is that she is a great set-piece taker, but also everything that drops in second balls and so on. Of course, she has a great long-distance shot. She has a great crossing foot from there on. So she's also a very good second ball player on set pieces. So it's great for us that we have options.
2 of the biggest roars of the night, Beth Mead coming on, getting more minutes, and then Viv Miedemar being introduced to the game. Were you roaring inside a little bit too? We just couldn't see it.
Of course, I'm very happy for players that has been out for a long time, working so hard, now being able to come back to us on the pitch. It's such a joyful moment, and when we can combine that with winning football matches, we're even happier.
And finally, just back to the low block, because there was some success that Bristol had with that, and you've faced it a few times now. You spoke about Palova and what she would bring on the ball, and you saw that today. Has that given you more ideas of what you want to experiment with going forward?
I think Palova is an excellent player on the ball. She's very creative, very good turning with the ball in tight spaces. So absolutely, I think we have a lot of tools in order to break down low blocks. I don't think that's necessarily a problem for us to play against. And I think we have developed the way that we play here now in the block as well. And that's important, that I can see progression. We take on ideas, we work with the relationships, our execution gets better and better. Today we created enough, we just didn't convert the opportunities enough, and that we just have to work on.
Congratulations on the 3 points.
Thank you.
Seems a little harsh to analyse every word, but he says about progress. During the week, he talked about their chance creation from wide zones not being good enough. Was there improvement from last week to this week?
I thought there was improvement in central areas. I think the link-up play from Alessia Russo, we didn't show that, but when she dropped deeper, I thought her link-up play got much better in the second half. But for me, when the striker drops deep to link, there has to be dynamic movement in front of that, and that started to come. And I think that there were signs of improvement, but fundamentally I think that, if I'm being really honest, I think Arsenal have become a little bit predictable in the way they play, and that's why we were saying earlier that they need to become a little bit more unpredictable by playing centrally, and that might have come at exactly the right time with the return of certain players like Miedema.
Yeah, the tools that he talks about, Miedema coming back, where does she fit in all of this?
Good question. Do you know what? Sometimes having too many players, everyone says, oh, it's great to have options, it's great to have different players coming off the bench. It's a nightmare for a manager to try and fit them all in and keep them happy. Listen, she plays when she's fully fit.
Yeah.
You find a way into the team for her, because you don't end up as top goal scorer in the WSL and not play, because we all know the qualities that she possesses. But not only the goal scoring, but the link up as well. It's trying to form a relationship, probably with Russo.
I'm just checking the dates. I think we were having this conversation about Stina Blackstenius and Miedema before the injury. So how do they all slot?
Well, Stina Blackstenius didn't get on the pitch today. And she's a player who can provide that threat in behind for Arsenal. So you're looking at, if you're breaking down how opposition play, is Blackstenius used when a team plays a more high line?
Yeah.
So it's about using the tools at the right time. But what I would say, the challenge for Jonas Eidevall is not got Champions League football. And that means less games. And that means more players on the bench unhappy. And that's why I'm saying you have to be 110% in training every day to be in the manager's consideration for a weekend. And even getting on for 10 minutes at the end would be a credit to you in that training environment, because, it's tough competition at Arsenal.
We know no one is 100% this season. We know points have been dropped. So do you go all out for the league, or do you go for the Conti Cup? Or do you try both? Have they got enough to go both?
Well, we've just been talking about it there, the options that they have. They've got the capabilities. You asked Izzy during the game, you were like, what's Arsenal's best 11? And Izzy said, well, they've got about 10 different options to change. So that tells you everything. So they have got options. So why not go for everything? I think when you're a club the size of Arsenal and you've got the budget that Arsenal have got, you have to go for everything.
Yeah. If you're Lauren Smith, the Bristol City boss at the moment, you're looking for a tiny violin, aren't you? Because all the problems that Arsenal have got, you'd love to have them. And yet they pushed Arsenal all the way. Bristol City not coming away with a point, but definitely grounds for improvement. A club record attendance of 12,008 fans at Ashton Gate for Bristol City's women. They couldn't quite get the point against Arsenal, going down 2-1. Let's hear from their boss, Lauren Smith, with Lindsay.
Lauren, a narrow defeat there, but there must be so much that you're pleased with from that performance.
Yeah, we've said about wanting to be more than a one-half team. We've done that. We've been quite hard to get through and beat today. And unfortunately, it's come down to 2 second phases of corners. So that's the bit that's hard to take, but I'm really pleased with how they've defended, the character that's shown up, and so yeah, there's loads to take into the next games.
Also the goal itself, it was a brilliant cross, but Rachel Furness with a header, she just makes that movement look so easy.
Yeah, she's excellent in the air, but I think she's had a great game across all of it today. She's making blocks at one end and then she's putting that in at the other, so I think excellent from her. We know that she's excellent with her head and she showed it today. I'm sure there'll be more from her.
We spoke about it being a huge moment as a debut for Olivia Clark in goal. What did you make of her?
I thought she was brilliant. She's really commanded the area. She's slowing the game down when it needs to be, picked out moments and got us out of our own box quite a few times. So I'm really happy with her performance today. So yeah, she's giving me something to think about.
When you do play opposition like Arsenal, and of course they've got that quality on the ball, it was a couple of quality finishes for them. But what are your takeaways? What are your lessons from that? There were over 25 plus corners that they had.
Give away less corners. Yeah, I mean it's one of the areas, right? You press in wide areas to have less crosses, which we were better this week than the week before, and then that ends up in giving away corners. You've got to give something. So unfortunately, we're going to have to carry on with that trend, keep pressing in wide areas, and now defend corners more.
over 12,000, a new record, 12,008, the exact number. What do you think you've given those fans who might have come for the first time to see you?
I hope that it means that they come back, because that crowd is unbelievable. When we score those goals and make those huge blocks at the end and you hear them roar, I think they can see what we're about, and that we need them every day, whether it's Arsenal, when we play West Ham, when we play Villa, everyone, we need them here.
And you're not fazed by being bottom of the league?
No, not at all. We came in there, we will stay there until it changes. So just unfortunate we've got international break, because I think off the back of that we'd be really, really raring to go and play our next fixture, really.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Cheers. Cheers.
It kind of rallies against everything we were saying about, they can build on these relationships in the international break. They want to go again. That shows the intent of this side, right? Yeah,
I get that, and I completely agree. We're looking at it from a development point of view, but the emotion in football, you've got to retain that, and the challenge will be to harness that and move it into the next fixture. So really, really impressive from Lauren Smith's side today.
Particularly on that point, Stephen, of when she was saying, we concede a goal, we don't want to then concede another. They went on to get that equaliser, which showed just how far they've come.
Yeah, it does, and I mean, we spoke at half-time about the quality of the goal, the movement, the cross, the quality. Furness at the back post or on the edge of the box making that run across, but it's the ball from Napier. It's just a great ball. It allows you to make that run across, to go and attack it. That's the quality that you're trying to replicate more often. I think the biggest challenge now for Lauren Smith will be how do we get in these areas more often? How do we get up the pitch to create opportunities like this? Because we've certainly got the quality to hurt teams.
Love the game management as well from them. Smart.
Absolutely. They showed signs of real maturity, and if they can develop that much in a week compared to the performance last weekend against Manchester City, you start thinking, okay, Bristol might start picking up points here, and then they'll start growing and cooking. And I feel like Stephen said, it's the challenge now is to how to break out of that defensive structure and become more of a threat going forward, because then teams start dropping off you.
We know that the last 5 sides that have been promoted have stayed up, and we were worried for Bristol City. It's still without a point, but where do you see them maybe pinching some?
Listen, the WSL is not easy at all, and we've seen that so far this season. Anyone can beat anyone on their day, and I think that next fixture against West Ham, West Ham obviously have done well so far, picked up points as well. But I think that'll be the first one, and I'm sure as cliches go, Lauren Smith will be looking to take it each game as it comes.
Talking of each game as it comes, let's rattle through the weekend's results, shall we? We'll start with Chelsea. They were up against Brighton. Brighton made it nervy for Chelsea. It was 1-1 at half-time. These are a couple of goals from Nuskin that we want to look at. One of those players we thought was a real engine driver for Chelsea. Yeah,
she's a player I was very excited about when she came into this league. I think she seems like she's got everything in her locker. This forward run from midfield, the little dinked finish, showing that real sign of quality. I think she is one of the futures of Chelsea's midfield.
It's one of those old, if Brighton could have just got to half-time, her first came in like 45+4, and then they went on, Chelsea, to win it 4-2. Let's have a little look at Manchester City, who are top of the table, but yes, again, not easy, thanks to Chloe Kelly, though, with the winner, Stephen.
Yeah, and the big thing is that what we're seeing from Manchester City is the form from last year has carried into this season, and you're noticing that, but you've got quality like Chloe Kelly. I mean, it's goalkeeping error. However, you don't take that opportunity to strike it, you're not going to score, but it's a positive result going to an informed Leicester team.
Positive results. We saw Everton have won in the Merseyside derby. They said they were going to kick on, then they face Manchester United and they go down 5-0.
Yeah, listen, it's a poor result from Everton's perspective. I think Manchester United were there possibly for the taking this week after the midweek visit to PSG, and obviously conceding off a set piece off the second phase. And this is brilliant, to be fair, from Nikita Parris, and Katie Zellum again with another brilliant assist. Ella Toone involved, which is great to see. But yeah, disappointing result for Everton off the back of the derby win last weekend. Nikita Parris on fire, and yeah, creating opportunities. Rachel Williams doing what she does best.
Yeah,
she's coming on and scoring.
Couple from Rachel Williams. She's always going to be a threat, but Nikita Parris just really finding some form at the moment.
Yeah, she's a player who's always hungry, and she'll always give you 110% because her work ethic's brilliant, her desire to score and assist. And yeah, she's definitely got her just rewards today.
We're not going to show Martha Thomas's goals, although I think she was your player of the weekend. But she gets a hat-trick for Spurs, who are really putting their mark on the league at the moment.
Yeah, listen, Martha Thomas is leading.
I know you're desperate.
I'm desperate to see the goals because she's been excellent, and I love her enthusiasm. We spoke about her on the opening day of the season when Tottenham played Chelsea, and the hunger and desire that Martha Thomas has got to win, to score goals, and she is doing exactly that. And you know, what a player, and fully deserved.
Do you want to see them? You can't. You can watch them back.
I'll watch them on the way home.
You've got this giant screen. You can watch it back any time. After this weekend, any more thoughts on where this league is going?
No, I still think Manchester City are one of the teams to look out for. I love the way they play, the style of football. Whenever I've watched the games, they play the brand of football, which is not only entertaining, but it's productive as well.
All right, here's what's coming up then over this week. International break, of course, in the WSL. But in Premier League, Tottenham against Fulham, 6:30 tomorrow night for Monday Night Football. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Izzy. She's off to watch Martha Thomas again and again and again. For the Robins, a record off the pitch. On it, they had their wings clipped by the Gunners. Good night.